nightmare.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Subculture, the podcast where we discuss everything strange, obscure and downright messed up in the world of movies. My name's Gary.
And I'm Simon.
This is episode 9 and today we are discussing Last Year at Marienbad from 1961, directed by Alain Resnais.
Yes, Gary.
Also known as Last Year in Marienbad.
Sure, in the UK.
But I think that sounds cooler. That's American title, I think, so that's how I knew it first, so
Got
I
you.
say at.
You're one of the cool kids. Do you want to give us a bit of a plot rundown, Gary, if you can?
Man, the plot of this film. You have some sort of luxury mansion with a lot of people donning tuxedos.
Yep, except for the
sort
women.
Yeah, apart from them. And a very upper class setting. A character known as X.
Only known as X in the script,
Well,
not in the,
a
not in
man.
the film. A
a
man.
man
The first man.
approaches a woman and says, "Remember me? I saw you here last year." She says, "No, don't remember me."
And he's like, come on!
Yeah, so basically the film plays out, he tries to convince her that they had a relationship last year and she just can't remember, or
Or
can she?
Maybe,
Is he making it up?
Aye.
Is he a
that's
madman? Is he a seducer / rapist?
it. Seducer slash, that's a big slash. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oof.
What really happened last year at Marienbad?
This is true.
Yeah, did anything happen?
Was that a tag? Was that a
Huh?
tagline on the poster? No.
It was
That
in
should
one
have
a
been.
trailer.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
I think, I don't know.
I knew you stole it from somewhere. So how did you come across this film?
I first heard about it. It was on an episode of the Criterion Cast.
Right.
So it's in the Criterion
Wait a
collection.
minute, you advertising a rival podcast?
So yeah.
No rival, to be fair.
Yeah, I never heard of it before, but they were saying how, just what we were saying there, it's a crazy film.
Mm-hmm.
So I eventually checked it out and I love it. A lot of the things you hear about it, it's a film, it's like love it or hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see why people see it as just pretentious nonsense in a way, but I think it's sort of a pinnacle of cinematic art. The more I watch it, it's just so mesmerising, and just it's like I like the kind of puzzle aspect of it, trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I think it's unfigure-outable.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I found this a difficult watch, I've got to admit.
Did you?
It's weird, it's kind of a paradox because like, each scene looks so beautiful and the performances are so like striking, and like even just like after at the beginning when the voiceover keeps repeating and we're seeing throughout the hotel, I mean that bit I found very interesting, and,
Yeah.
and we get to it eventually becomes like we're almost searching for who's speaking because it shows showing you all of the people and no one seems to be speaking, and then you find it falls on the kind of guy that in the play that's doing the voiceover, and then like after the play finishes everyone starts to talk, and I don't know in the Criterion version, but in the Shiro Canal there's no subtitles at that point at all.
Right.
It doesn't. We don't actually know what anyone's saying.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
all their
Yeah.
conversations, and then all of a sudden they just pause
Yeah.
and totally still. So like those parts I found very like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? This is, I really liked that. And the scenes with him and her, like X and A, some of them were just so powerful. Some of them I found I just didn't know what quite was happening. But then coming back to it as a whole, I find it quite perplexing because I don't know if I enjoyed it or not.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what the guys in the Criterion Cast were saying.
It's like each get shot. I mean, I went back and watched a few scenes after I'd finished it actually today, and maybe it was a repeat viewing, but I just there's certain scenes I just thought were amazing looking, and the editing was just like awesome. The multiple versions of what's happening,
Yeah.
like that's like really appeals to me, and I thought it was just really clever. But again, just coming back to it as a whole, I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know if I enjoyed it or not. You know, that way it's hard to describe. See, like, show me a scene out, and I'll say that's an amazing scene, like shot like amazingly, and like just as the performances just kind of take your breath away in a lot of the scenes, and then but you show me a collection of them, and I'm like, I don't know why. You don't know why it's happening, but that doesn't bother me so much as I just don't know whether it's uncomfortable to watch.
Aye.
I think it's meant to be.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a film that sets out to challenge the audience.
I think you have to be completely switched on when you watch it, though.
Right.
I think because like
yeah, probably the first time is the most difficult, and then that's when you kind of decide, right, I'm gonna get into. I like this. It's interesting. You watch it again, then you kind of have more handle on it. It is a film that rejects all traditional character psychology, so you can't really relate to any of the characters. They are like statues or
we were
ghosts.
talking about like Gummo, like having no narrative. Like it's just one of the films we've looked at, obviously. But as you know, in that you can fall in love with the characters, whether there's a cohesive story or not.
Yeah.
And this, it's kind of just saying there's not really any chance to do that. I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
Although there was a couple of scenes that it's like you're saying, like these kind of like frozen people.
Aye.
Like almost like emotionless people, all of them. There's a couple of scenes where with X and A that there's one scene I remember, and he's doing a voiceover and the camera's panning. It's like you can see the hotel in the background, and it's panning up from them having a conversation, and like she's kind of laughing and smiling. Yeah, and he's still giving this kind of voiceover, and I thought that was the closest we got to any characterization of like emotion, like, with them being like a couple almost. Yeah. But it's kind of like the camera's like, we're not giving you that, you know what I mean? It's kind of... Yeah. So there are a couple of scenes in there that you do kind of get flashes of character.
Well, the film came out of part of the French New Wave, in a way. There was the pure French New Wave who came out of the journal, Cahiers du Cinéma, who were all like critics first, like Jean-Luc Godard, Francois Truffaut, and then there was like sort of left bank directors who were slightly older. It was like René, Agnes Varda, Georges Franju. So it was part of the New Wave movement in a wider sense. And obviously the New Wave, it was kind of the first modernist movement where attempts were made to reject all the traditional ways of making films. So traditional storylines, storytelling, like the traditional narratives of the three act structure, rejecting all temporal and spatial continuities. Traditional way of making films was you're supposed to forget you're watching a film.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so all the techniques like traditional shot reverse shot types of to hide the camera, hide editing. But then the modernists kind of came along and said, no, we're going to celebrate cinema as an art in its own right. So they focused on the form of cinema rather than content. So the form, you're aware you're watching a film in a lot of ways. Like they would do things like if a character directly addresses the camera, it reminds you you're watching a film. And I would say that this is kind of one of the pinnacles of the whole modernist tradition.
Obviously something like Pulp Fiction, film-wise, that kind of messes obviously with it, and a far more mainstream, and there's still a story, and it's almost like each parts of Pulp Fiction are like their own self-contained short story, like you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas this is like, there's nothing like that. I mean, there's nothing even close to.
That's the thing. Well, something like Pulp Fiction, you might call postmodernist.
Okay.
In a way that this is modernist. That kind of does the same thing. Reminds you you're watching a film. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really add up to much. It doesn't have much to say about film form.
Yeah.
Compared to like some of the first guys that did it.
It's kind of more like more about its characters. Yeah. And you know the kind of dialogue wise, you know, I get what you're saying.
And a lot of the earlier modernists had a political bent as well, a Brechtian sense.
There's a couple of things on I was reading about this and interpretations of it and things like that. And it's one of the things that I thought, I wrote down a couple of things when I was watching this, not as much as I usually do because it was kind of hard to write stuff and still watch it, 'cause, you know what I mean? So it was kind of just what I could think of. But there's one of the things that I kind of thought when the voiceover, and a lot of time when he was talking to the woman, it was almost like he was directing her. And like they were saying, like, you know, that it could be an interpretation of a character who knows he's in a film. That interpretation of this film really appealed to me. I really liked that because it really did feel like, even when he was just like, she was standing at the wall looking over into the fountains, and you know, you're seeing her approach from behind and you turn right, it really was like he was and even a couple of other interpretations of the film about him trying to change his surrounds. You know what I mean? Just trying to manipulate it and make this happen. But I really like that interpretation of it, as if like it's kind of he's stuck in this like fake world, and he's trying to manipulate it into being a love story.
It's getting the idea that any art form, any story, is basically a loop.
Yeah,
the characters can only do. They're frozen in time.
Yeah,
in a way.
They can only do what they've been told to do, or what they're written to do, or what they're but he's trying to break it out for. I mean, I really like that idea. It really, and I was glad that I wasn't just going off in a tangent like crazy or anything like that. Obviously, other people think this as well, but that's when it becomes. Those scenes were really mesmerising to me. When you're watching, you're hearing him say what she's going to do, and it's her. You know what I mean? Whereas it could be interpreted as him remembering it. But to me, it definitely came across as like he's kind of telling her what to remember, or he's manipulating the memory. There's a couple of times when he's like, no, wait, that's not how it happened, and it totally cuts to the same scene or the same content, but like somewhere else or doing something different. So I thought that was quite ingenious.
Yeah, it's also shots that play into that are scenes where the two main characters they wander about, and all the other characters are frozen. It's the idea that these characters don't exist except for the role they're given in the plot. So when they're not involved in the plot, they don't do anything.
It's like I think it might have appeared in another film, but remember that film I was talking about, Super, with Ellen Page in it. There's a bit in that when they're talking about, it's obviously they're meant to be kind of comic book superheroes, but it's based set in the real world, and they're talking about like everything can't always be beating up bad guys kind of thing. And like she basically says he says that life still goes on between the panels, and she says so we're between the panels just now, and it's kind of that it's kind of the it's almost like because he's broken out of his set role in the film. If he's if he's this character that's aware that he's in the film, it's like that action isn't happening at the moment. He's went off himself. So it's really clever that when you come at it from that degree as well.
I like as well how you've constantly got this repetition of the dialogue of the scenes, which also is playing into the idea of that this is happening every year.
Or even less almost. It's like
I think it seems to be like a day.
Yeah.
And the what we assume is a present seems to be just one day.
I found myself getting lost in that a couple of times as well. The present was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bit near the end where it flashes back to just after they finished dancing and she's dropped the glass. That feels like we're back to the present, but I thought it was back to the present way before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just.
The second time I watched it there, and I was trying to break down every time period, but I got lost after 20 minutes.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, there's so many times that even just the flash. I love the scene where he's talking to her, and all of a sudden it flashes up like the single or 2 or 3 frames of the white room with her standing in it, and I like the interpretation. It's almost like he's forcing that into being.
Yeah,
that's something that maybe never happened, or it's not a memory that these characters have. But again, coming into it as him being the director, it's like he's forcing that into her mind as a character.
I mean, the start, we're kind of assume that's a present.
Right.
But we don't know.
The play, yeah.
That's kind of the most...
it's the only thing you've really got to play with, isn't it?
Aye. And there's a few times that Renee lets us know that he's shifting time. There's one... The first kind of shift is you've got some characters in a room. I believe you've got A and M, her husband.
Yes, sir.
The camera tracks through a doorway into another room, and then you've got some characters sitting at a table.
Yeah.
But then he repeats the shot and the second time. Yeah,
I did notice that. But again, those shots can be sometimes hard to. For me, I didn't instantly think that was time changing. I just didn't know if it was something, because he changes the action so often with repeated shots that you don't know whether it's necessarily something that's happened or something that's just someone's remembering it a different way, or something that's just been, you know what I mean?
Aye. And then is he just cutting to some of the times you get the cuts? Are they cutting to later that same day, or is it another? Is it last year?
Yeah,
is it 2 years ago? Is it? But I love a lot of the time when X is trying to explain the story of what happened.
Yes.
The conversation is playing out in sort of real time. You don't feel there's a cut in the conversation,
Yeah.
but it'll cut to something like suddenly they're inside and then suddenly they're outside, but the
Yeah.
conversation seems to flow naturally.
Yeah.
Or there's a cut and they're wearing different clothes.
I think that for me was coming across as like this. So he's maybe got a memory of it. X is getting a memory of this. Yeah, happening maybe last year, maybe before, whatever. And it's like it's either her remembering and not admitting she remembers, and she's remembering it slightly differently, as you know, as you tend to do, or it's her interpretation of what he's telling her. You know that you know that could be that, but it works pretty well. It's quite jarring as well.
Yeah.
Especially there's a lot of times where a character will be they'll be like, you know, kind of fairly close, a portrait shot almost of a character, and they'll be standing like in a pose, more or less, and then it flashes and costume change. You know, scene changes, and it's the exact same pose. You know, a lot of times that happens as well. I just think the whole the setting, where did they actually shoot it?
I think it was actually, well, mostly in Germany, but I think that mansion was in Germany, but some of the gardens were shot in different places. Because
it just looked stunning. Like there's the shot where it just looked like a painting, really, and it was everyone standing with the shadows.
Oh yeah.
Which reminded me actually of the shot from Melancholia. You know what I mean? Like, that was exactly.
I thought that. Yeah, I saw Melancholia as well.
Well, I saw this after Melancholia, but it just even I know in Melancholia the garden has like the two shadows when it does the shadow thing with the sun and Melancholia, but that just looked gorgeous. I mean, that was just so striking. And everyone was in. There was no freeze framing. There was no like, let's just repeat this frame, or you know what I mean. It was actually all the actors when they're still, are still. You know what I mean? Which that's just the sheer organisation of that. It was really striking, that scene. Remember that shot. Another kind of interpretation, which I kind of had, I forget whereabouts I had it. I think it was after the first, second time he'd, you know, tried to convince her that they'd met before. I was starting to think like it was. I didn't necessarily think they were dead or anything like that, which eventually it does kind of come across like that as well, with the people being spectres almost. Everyone else anyway was like reincarnation. Is this like previous lives he's remembering? You know what I mean? It's like a kind of like a soulmate type thing. Because he talk about meeting every year, or they meet over and over again. That was one of the kind of things that kind of occurred to me. Right. I wasn't sure. What do you think about that? I mean, there's no one interpretation, obviously, but
I tend to think that it's partly true. I think they did meet before. I think the rape theory, or some kind of trauma happened, but she's kind of forgotten it, but he's trying to remind her, but he doesn't want it to be a rape. He's trying to kind of rewrite the past from like the guilt of it. He's trying to convince her that it was like true love or whatever, and she like reciprocated. She wanted to leave with him.
I mean, I know that was one of the interpretations that they were talking about in the special features. That I don't know. That didn't really. No, I'm not saying it didn't come across. You say that, and I can see where you I can totally see where you're going with that. I don't know. Just to me, it was kind of like, I guess maybe taking it a little more literally with the husband and stuff like that. I mean, you see at one point he shoots her. And then he's like, no, that's not how it happened. You're alive, and that just, again, that's taking it very much like, okay, it could be like a previous life or whatever, or it could be an affair they had that she's now terrified to admit. You know what I mean? But I don't know until that they mentioned that in the documentary that we watched. It had never really occurred to me, the whole and I mean, I guess as he's trying to make it's kind of symbolism. I guess he's trying to force her to remember. You know, so it's kind of against her will, because she's not wanting. She's not even wanting to try and remember. Almost, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, obviously that's kind of.
At first, she's kind of amused. By this guy.
I don't know. It definitely didn't occur to me when I was watching it that was one of the ways it could go. But I can see where that can come from.
But who knows? I mean, maybe this guy he just does this continually. As how he likes to seduce women.
I've seen you here before.
Yeah.
I quite like that when I was talking about it was almost like these people were like robots. Like they were almost like kind of automations, and like all the humans were sleeping in their beds.
Yeah.
You know, and these people, and it was almost when the music starts, they all move.
Right. Aye.
And like he's trying to escape and get her to feel emotion. Before they all kind of come back online, and
Aye.
and they've got to all stay there. The scene when just before she breaks the glass, I thought was quite powerful, when she kind of screams and goes back, or it's because she's laughed in the memory.
Right.
You know, but then that kind of works for your theory as well.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of like, he's telling her this one thing that she was kind of happy, and then she's kind of either remembering it or being like, I can't even believe that you're being like that. You know what I mean? Like what you're talking about, and screams and goes back.
Well, there's two scenes where you kind of think that she's realising something. There's that one, and then there's the one later on where he's describing the room, and then she adds details.
Yep.
There was the mirror wasn't above the fireplace. It was a picture. So
definitely. I mean, in the scene where the kind of point of view changes to her, like she's having the conversation with her, like her husband or whatever, with them. That was a bit. I didn't know where that was happening, when or where it was happening. You know what I mean? That seemed a bit kind of, and that was just before kind of she gets shot.
Yeah.
What was your take on that scene? That was quite a shift from it being solely his point of view.
It's interesting, their relationship. It's implied that they're husband and wife, but it's not made explicit.
No.
And it's, that guy is obviously the master of the game of Nim.
Oh yeah, I was going to bring that
interesting.
Up. Continually beats A.
It does,
Yeah. I was trying to work it out like times, but then I stopped trying because I was too busy watching the actors, because you really were just waiting for them to get up and punch him at the end. It's like, even with the one where he lets him tell him which one to pick first.
Aye.
It was quite clever.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of suggesting that all these characters kind of locked into this system. They can't get out. Like the whole, what we're saying about locked into the story. And he's the guy who kind of knows how it works. He could be like a representing Alan Renee or Rob Gray to an extent.
Like again, to go to the these characters being stuck in their kind of loops, you'd like, in my head, like obviously X is trying to, and eventually does manage to break out of his loop. So I was kind of waiting on him being able to beat him.
Okay.
You know, because no one else seemed to be able to like beat him, and that would kind of run with the whole. So I think, I don't know, that was kind of what I was expecting, with him being able to change his kind of, it's kind of figurative for him changing his character.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Don't know. I was surprised that never.
I don't know if you picked up there's two characters that have names.
Frank.
Aye.
Apparently said he was good at it. He wasn't. He
played it last year. He was here. I'm sure of it.
But then M had said to A earlier on that he wasn't there last year.
Wasn't he?
Because he was asking who took the photos. It was just the same photo. It looked like the same photo of her. You know,
it's all.
Yeah.
Aye. It was the same.
Everyone was the same.
Aye. Which is interesting. Does that mean, is it playing into the idea that this is happening every day on the loop, or is it X's stash?
Why is it in their room though?
Well, good question.
Or her room.
But
I know
as
what you
if
mean.
he's some kind of seducer.
Yeah. Slash rapist.
Aye. Don't forget.
I thought it was quite interesting when he was saying, like, he was talking to her and he was like, I've just heard something, like, apparently last year, like, it was so cold that the ponds froze over. Like, giving more credence to the fact that it's not necessarily true, anything that he's saying. Or like, it's open to, you know, like, was it last year? Was it many years ago?
Aye.
I mean, the first couple of times he said about it being last year, he'd mentioned Frederiksbad.
Aye.
And I was getting ready to phone you.
Right.
I was going, what's going on here? What's this? So, I mean, and eventually they kind of like, or you know, Marienbad. So I was kind of like, what?
Right.
So that gives even more. That raises a few more questions, because then that means that they may be not currently at Marienbad. if they can't remember, so it's not necessarily where it was last year.
Mhm.
So the whole loop thing we're talking
Aye.
about. So that would maybe discount that a little. Given that if it was happening at that hotel, then they would know where they were. I mean, no kind of outside. There's nothing given to where they are at currently anyway. But
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of like at some points it's implying that it was there. Quite heavily, and then he's saying it's like I can't remember where it was.
Yeah. I think that's just ambiguity of it.
Yeah, I guess.
Some people are saying that we were here, and then some people are saying Frank was here. No, I wasn't.
Who's the other character you're talking about then?
Oh, there's one Anderson.
Yeah,
that's the guy they're going to meet for lunch tomorrow.
Yes, that's right.
And then later, when X is recounting that, he says, "You are going to meet Ackerson or Patterson." It's a bit weird. It's as if he's recounting the thing wrong, as if he's half heard the name, but he doesn't know exactly what it was. It's also interesting, towards the end, his version of events seems to break down.
Yeah, he kind of loses it a bit.
Yeah, he's not sure.
He's like, I don't remember, and that. Yeah, that was kind of, and that kind of gave me the kind of, like, are they dead? Is it a kind of, or like a purgatory type thing? And there's a bit where he's talking about the M's going to the play.
Aye.
And he knows he'd have to leave early if he wants to keep.
Yeah.
And he's like saying, I can't remember the name of the play, just as the camera pans past the poster. That it's again the whole kind of his memory's breaking down.
Yeah.
Or like he doesn't remember things quite right.
The play's quite interesting because supposedly that's about incest and rape and the sort of guilt surrounding that. And also how the dialogue in the play is very similar to what later comes in the film.
Sure.
And then, so I think Renee's just suggesting the reflexive nature of the film, like how it reminds us we're watching a film. In the same way, you've got the people stand and look at the picture of the gardens on Marienbad, and that's what we're looking at as an audience.
Definitely feels like a film that's structured and designed to be a puzzle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. It's as you say, it's like the proverbial bumpy road of films. I think it's like there's no smooth ride with it. You don't get any point where you can just relax and just just watch it.
Aye.
You don't have to, but it kind of forces you in every cut, every jump cut, every change of scene, every change of dialogue to reevaluate what's happening. I noticed in the documentary there was a couple of lines of the dialogue that were subtitled in the documentary that the subtitles were different on the Studio Canal version. There's a bit where she's he's asked it, it's supposedly the last year, and she's asking him to give her a year.
Okay, aye.
Yeah, and then like she hears someone coming, and he tells her, she says to him like, "Go for the love of me."
Right, aye.
Whereas in the Studio Canal version, it was "Go if you love me" or something like that.
All right, okay.
It wasn't the same. I was just wondering like if you noticed that or not.
I didn't notice that.
But just a couple. I don't know if that was if the criterions. The other way. Just
right, I don't know exactly what the
title
criterion was.
It was
just different translations.
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the years, I think, but
what do you think of the music?
It was quite. It was disconcerting.
Yeah, it was
Definitely.
very. Parts of it, especially the very end when they're walking out, they don't look very happy about it either. But it felt like kind of like funeral music, very kind of.
Aye.
And I actually felt like a lot of it felt like a kind of gothic horror. Like you would be getting the kind of the Hammer movies, or even the old like Universal monster movies. And there's a couple of bits that were actually the music was quite. You thought something horrific felt as if it was gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's parallels drawn in some of the stuff about this in The Shining.
Oh, aye.
With the hotel and stuff like that, and you can definitely see, especially the film version of The Shining, taking some influence from the visuals in this film. But saying that, nothing particularly scary happens, but the music's very kind of as if something's going to happen, or again maybe like lending credence to your whole seducer / rapist theory.
One thing that I kept thinking of in the sort of what we assume are the flashbacks, the sort of main flashbacks where she's wearing the sort of white dress.
Yes, and they're out in the garden.
Aye.
We're a big part of it.
Yeah, it seems like he's recounting the story to her in the present, but then in the flashbacks, he's talking to her and saying the same thing as he would say in the the present. It's quite weird. Could you think, how can he be saying the same thing if this is the first time it's happening in the present?
It's almost like the time we're seeing the flashback to, he was trying to remind everyone of that time, and so, you know, again with the kind of
or
infinity.
is any of that real, or is it his just imagination, the flashbacks?
Or is it again her perception of his description, but still seeing him speaking and telling her what's happening? If she's really either doesn't remember it or is just, you know. So so many ways it could be taken.
Yeah.
It's as I say, it's a mindfuck.
Aye. It's quite ambiguous, her response in certain ways. I mean, she's all constantly saying "leave me alone," but it's almost as like she can't quite. She's kind of compelled, mesmerised by him, and then the actual rape scene, or sort of what might signify the rape, you know, shot where the camera like dollies into her face.
Yes.
She's like that.
Yes.
She's almost like smiling.
Yeah.
But see, it's not clear if that's meant to be the rape scene or not.
See, I didn't take that from that, but I get where
Aye.
I mean, that was one of the scenes that was kind of, the music was very intense,
yeah,
and kind of, you didn't know what was kind of going to happen.
Aye. Because but
then again, if you take that from that being, if you take that as almost being his literal point of view, and we're talking about him trying to rewrite it,
yeah,
and kind of make it out as if that wasn't what happened, that it wasn't a rape, then, and you know, he's just imagining her smiling. I mean, there's a scene before where he's telling her about like we've got to leave, right?
Yeah,
and she's kind of laughing, and he goes, no, you weren't laughing. And then it goes again, and then she turns from smiling, and a completely different setup, different costume, goes from smiling to being kind of like concerned at what he's saying. So again, it's like, it's kind of the same thing. If maybe she wasn't, you know, it's maybe just his perception of what happened, or his wish fulfillment of what happened.
Aye, because in the screenplay, I think that was a disagreement between Rob Grier and Renee.
Right.
How Renee wasn't that keen to do the rape scene, or at least do it in an explicit way, whereas it's a more important part of the screenplay. So Renee chose to make it a bit more unclear.
So in the screenplay, it's supposed to be a rape?
Supposedly, aye.
Right.
Whether or not it's meant to be a real rape, or it's still meant to be real or imagined, who's knows? But it does seem to be, according to the Criterion booklet, Rob Grier was saying he wanted it more pronounced, at least.
I didn't realise there was as much kind of, you know, from the source, it being meant to be that. That's quite interesting. Let's see, because it never occurred to me that at all watching the film. My innocent wee brain.
What?
But it's my innocent wee brain.
Right.
Didn't it go there? The end, she's like, before they kind of walk away rather than modernly, she just doesn't look like she wants to go at all.
Aye.
But which kind of, with his dialogue about her not wanting to leave, as if she's leaving part of herself, blah blah blah. Like she's tearing up a letter.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Don't think we know what that is.
No, it's a bit kind of.
Unless it's a letter she's leaving to M.
But she's ripping it up, so I
maybe.
I
mean, if you look at the film in a kind of innocent way, you could argue it's just a story about she's trapped in an unhappy marriage and he's trying to get out.
That's kind of like, that's the way I kind of saw it, was kind of that way, except that it doesn't look like she's necessarily that desperate to get away. You know, it doesn't look like she's actually enamoured with either of them that much.
Yeah.
There are times when she can't really say no to either of them, but she doesn't really look like she's... Well, she does look like she's unhappy in the marriage, but she doesn't really necessarily look like she's that keen on this guy either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
But I get what you mean. That's
Yeah,
kind of
because
that's
at the
kind of
start of the
almost
film, there's a couple who say something like that. We come here every year, but
Yes.
we never talk or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then you might think that that's A&M,
Mhm.
but then the camera moves and you see her standing at the side, so it's not them. But it's obviously throwing up that idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's making X kind of the innocent, the sort of hero of
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I buy that because just it comes off as a lot more kind of seedy and got some sort of motive.
Mm.
One thing that from the technical side of it they did in this film that's quite interesting was some of the shots, they're sort of mirrored shots with two main characters, but in order to do that they had to use two lenses on the camera.
Right.
That's it. I think they made their own lenses to kind of almost split the screen.
Right. Uh-huh.
So they could have, I think because they were shooting in 235 and at the time it didn't have a very big depth of field
Okay.
because of the lenses that were available, so they had to make a way to have, like, there's some shots, say you've got X on the left of the screen and A's sort of mirrored in a mirror
Uh-huh.
on the right,
Yes.
so in order to get them to in focus they had to like kind of split the screen.
Right. I did
Right.
think that the shot you're talking
Aye.
about is particular with her in the mirror.
Aye.
It did look a wee bit kind of weird and a wee bit different. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Well, that's quite interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know. I mean, who was the cinematographer in this?
I don't even know his name.
No, but I mean,
I'd
it's
have
it's
him.
absolutely gorgeous. I mean,
Aye.
it really is. And the print that was on the Studio Canal version anyway was gorgeous. I mean, it
Mhm.
really was. Just some of the setups and like the characters, as I say, with them just being like perfectly still
Mm.
in so many scenes, and then like, you know, cutting into motion and stuff like that. It was just this the sheer like technical setup of those scenes must have been like just crazy.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
mirrors must have caused a problem.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
documentary on the Criterion version, how they were talking about, basically there's one major scene where the camera tracks through a room and it's like mirrors all around the
Mhm.
place, and they basically had to rehearse the scene for a day and a half so that they could move the actors so that the camera would be seen in the mirrors.
Not contradict what we're saying about the like remembering you're in a film. It felt like even though these characters were not being very naturalistic and you know, the
Yeah.
actors weren't, you know, it was obviously intentional to be these kind of wooden caricatures of and like, you know, no emotion and just kind of going through the motions kind of thing.
Aye.
There's so many scenes where things, you know, the camera would pan. It's one of the scenes where the kind of the blonde girl,
Aye.
yeah, the kind of ghost or like, you know, the kind of apparition that almost she's moving down the corridor and the camera's panning, and it definitely feels like when things are in motion, they're just happening.
Right. Aye.
It doesn't feel set up,
Mhm.
even with these kind of like unnatural movements and kind of the pauses and stuff like that. It just feels like it's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's, I think, a great accomplishment for it. Not to, it does, even though the technical side must have been massive
Aye.
to actually get this to all happen, and for the camera movements, and as you say, with the day and a half rehearsals, whatever.
Aye.
Even though that must have been, it was worth it because it feels effortless. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like, I don't know, no one ever looks out of place
Yeah.
and things just seem to happen.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It feels very light in that
Aye.
way. Doesn't feel staged. That's what I'm trying. You know what I mean? Which I think is a feat with the kind of the amount of people in the film and the amount of characters. Sorry, and
Yeah.
the technical side with the camera movements and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And as you say with the mirrors and the kind of, as you say, if it was shot on location, I don't think it was sets, was it?
No. Yeah.
So I mean, it's really is. It's a feat. I definitely admire that side of it.
I liked some of the editing in the film as well.
Mm-hmm.
How we do these kind of mirrored cuts where there's one cut I really liked. You had A on like the right side of the frame, sort of leaning against a wall, and then you can see on one side of the frame then there's some people in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next cut would be the kind of mirror that she's on the other side, with a different costume on.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then,
Sorry.
or then later on, when she goes to lie down in the bed,
Yeah.
he cuts it to the different angles.
Aye, that was really clever. I thought that was good. There's another shot that I thought was quite. I had to rewind back and watch again. Was when she's like sitting on the bed. I like she's in black and the bed's white, and it's kind of the camera's kind of tracking into her through the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And just as it gets to the point where you think, right, it either has to stop or something's going to happen, you just don't know what's going to happen, or cut to something else, it cuts to her, like basically mirroring her into the real world, if you will, and continues the track.
Aye.
It was quite cool because it's like you didn't know. I actually thought they'd went through the mirror or something, some sort of kind of weird thing.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like that's kind of what's happened. You went into the kind of mirror world almost, but that was quite clever. How does that compare to like something like Godard's work? Is that kind of...
Well, it's similar to some of it. I mean, the early new wave stuff is, see this, when this is thought of as new wave, they're all modernists in a way, but this is way more like kind of intellectual and cerebral.
Aye. I think they were saying that in the thing. It was kind of
whereas the initial new wave stuff was all about kind of energy and youth, like Darius a jump cut.
Right.
It's like, and it's just more straight narrative. But some of the Guitar's later stuff, like Les Mépris, is a bit more like this, just because it's really ambiguous and you don't quite know what's going on.
Put a bit like Breathless, is it? Because that's one I'm quite keen to watch.
Right.
Is it kind of like this or
no?
That's
not really.
I wasn't sure because I know they'd said in the making that he'd done some new wave stuff before this, or like kind of similar stuff. But this was kind of taking it to a new level.
Aye. I think Jeanette Vicendo, I don't know if you watched the interview with her.
Was that the girl that did the interview?
Aye. She was kind of saying like, well, this is like also has an emphasis on style, as other new wave stuff does, but this is almost more classical filmmaking, whereas like Breathless and 400 Blows, they were like get out in the streets and film Paris as it actually is.
Right.
Whereas this is more like it's like not a studio, but it's like traditional way of making films.
It is very like cut off from it. Like it feels the world. There's no world outside this.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's kind of. It's quite ambiguous where they are, when they are. You know what I mean? You don't even know what time period we're in because the the costume, the costume, the attire that they're wearing. But yeah, I was trying to work out, like, is this kind of, you're talking about like, instead of like with like characters and narrative, it's kind of more to do with like form and things. But I don't really. What's your take on like? Is it just trying to express an idea? Is it just trying to, what's its kind of thematical? What do they try to do with this?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think you could criticise the film and saying it's just an exercise in form. What?
Fucking with you.
Yeah, I don't know if it really has much.
Just like a kind of artistic cinema, just kind of.
I mean, because I think the point of the film was that they didn't know what it meant, like Renee and Rob Gray to an extent.
Right.
I mean, it has things about the nature of reality, I don't know, memory, how we perceive the world, but I think they are put to one side and just to kind of to emphasise the strangeness of the narrative.
It's a difficult one to tie down for. How, I mean, do you think it has anything else to say?
Not explicitly, really, but I think it's important enough just for its what it says about form.
I mean, as far as like trying to be different. I mean, I was watching some of the stuff on like about Lars von Trier talking about filmmaking. It's like you should build the pebble in your shoe. Like a film shouldn't be necessarily easy to watch or understand, or you shouldn't be basically doing something that's already been done. You should be always be trying to do something a bit different and stuff. And I think that's obviously what they were trying to do with the movement. Back then as well. And I mean I think this film, it definitely achieves that, and it's so strong technically.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It's so strong on every level, and it's kind of, but it's trying to do something just completely that's never been done before, and just kind of just give you this puzzle. I mean, the sheer fact that people are still talking about it to this day,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean, and it is such an important film in cinema. It's, I mean, that has to say something. But equally, it has divided so many people, hasn't
Yeah,
it? I
yeah.
mean, as you say, there are people that love it and hate it.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, personally, I can totally admire it for the whole every technical aspect of it, from cinematography to the direction. You know what I mean? The characters having to, these great actors trying to give like emotionless performances.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, the setup, the sheer the volume of work must have been put in to do everything. But then on the other side, it's like I don't know how much I get from it.
Right.
Other than that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I say, single scenes, everything like I can really work.
Aye.
I don't know as a whole what I really get from it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that doesn't matter. As I say, it's something else that I've
Aye.
that I've experienced. It's definitely one I'd like to watch again and try and get more from.
Mm-hmm.
I say that especially that first night, it was so like kind of just trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I think as well. I mean, I've watched many foreign language films, but trying to read the subtitles and watch what's going on.
Okay,
There was a couple of times I actually just watching the action,
Right, aye.
because there was something really interesting happening, and I wasn't necessarily checking out the dialogue. So, you know, again, there's maybe
Aye.
more, but I mean, I think I managed to keep up with it. You know what I mean? So I managed to take things away from it, maybe just to watch it again to maybe enjoy it instead of
Right.
trying to
Aye.
watch it and analyse it.
Arguably, you could say the film is just a game. Like it's just how the game of Nim is representative of the film as a whole. It doesn't mean anything overall.
Yeah,
It's just there's no one interpretation of it.
it's almost
So
like
just
it's
whatever,
kinda,
make it up. But I think the film is definitely important, just for that. Even if its only thing it has to say is about the nature of cinema itself, I would say it's pretty important. But also, I find it just a compelling watch, just the full-on strangeness and kind of bizarre mystery of it. And I like how you can look for the meaning, even if overall the meaning's not there. But it's fun to kind of try and work it out.
because I mean, there's definitely threads there that give you like you clutch at the meaning. Even though like you even if you follow it down, you probably will find something that we have that discounts what you just said a little bit. You know what I mean? There's many threads, I guess, that you could follow through. Again, it's like that's maybe been the point. Is this just kind of it's the ultimate? I mean, they talk about ambiguous endings. I mean, it's kind of the way most Hollywood films even now finish. You know, like, these kind of random endings, just films just end,
Right?
And still people complain about them, it's getting to the point where now that's the kind of the norm.
Real, all right, you're saying that's a Hollywood convention now. That's maybe.
It can be.
You think? Aye, that's interesting because that's obviously the traditional way of making films is that everything has to be resolved and tied
definitely.
up.
But I mean, the amount of films like there's so many films I could probably think of in the last 10 years that have these ambiguous endings and just not necessarily giving you like a kind of and a lot of them have been big Hollywood. Even just we're talking about Prometheus there.
Yeah.
Alright, that's probably them fishing for a sequel.
Right.
That's like a pretty ambiguous ending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, the amount of times I have like watched things with my wife and whatever, and like, she'll just turn to me at the end and go,
"Alright,
it's a pretty stupid ending, eh?" And I'm like, I enjoy that type of thing, but looking at it now, it is getting to be the convention, and it's kind of like,
alright,
we're ready for something a bit different now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So many films do this, and we call them ambiguous. Oh, we're left like Inception.
Yeah.
We're left to think what happened, and what the result is, or, whether the top falls or continues to spin.
Aye.
But this is the ultimate. Last year at Marienbad is the ultimate, ambiguous film.
Yeah.
So like it really has nothing. These films that we call now, ambiguous, have nothing really on this. This is the kind of ultimate of all that, of where those ideas come from.
Yeah.
Like with this, everything is ambiguous. Everything can be taken like multiple number of ways. I can't remember why I went on to that,
Right,
but that was what I was trying to make. Like,
Yeah.
People say about these ambiguous endings, and it seems to be happening more and more in films, when we don't get a proper resolution.
Yeah.
But this, they really don't have, and people complain about them, but really, they don't have any, don't really have anything to complain about with that. Those head scratchers.
Yeah.
When if you watch this, you know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah.
this is a face scratcher.
Aye. The film is definitely important for just smashing all those traditional
The conventions,
ideas of what a film is,
mhm.
that Hollywood film had created through the years.
I think it is still remarkable that it does still manage to, even though like it explicitly manages to create its own bubble world. You know what I mean? Like, in the way a film would like tries to get you to buy into like the world of the film. You know, the kind of the world's kind of rules or whatever. This literally has a closed off bubble, but it still manages to do that and give you this kind of the world of the film.
Aye.
Even though it's so small, or it feels so small and confined, with no character.
Yeah.
Really development or narration, you know what I mean? So it is quite interesting that it still manages to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like if you were to see another story set in this world, you'd kind of know, you know what I mean? It's got a very distinct world to it.
I would buy into this world straight away, even though it's constantly reminding you you're watching a film.
Yeah.
More than like a kind of some really average Hollywood films, you can see how they're trying to build character. And tell you like what this character's about, and sometimes it's so lazy that you reject it straight away. Whereas this film just doesn't bother any of that. But I'm completely immersed in the story and in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you get enough. It's almost like you get enough of the character through the story that's happening, just enough to let you get the story out. You know what I mean? For the kind of the basic premise of this guy trying to remind her of the last year or whatever.
Aye.
But yeah, it's I know what you mean. There's definitely like that's. I mean, it doesn't feel like they're pushing to create this world. It takes form.
But it's curious. It's lasted. If we were saying there how it is kind of superficial, that it doesn't have any real meaning to it. But I mean, it still has power to this day.
And I think that comes from. It's just the strikingness of all the imagery, you know what I mean? Let's see, you could take any shot from it, any scene, any like set of shots, and it's like I think you'd show it somebody that would blow them away. You know what I mean? Anyone who's distinct, even remotely interested in cinema, as I say, given the whole film, they might start to get confused, or not confused, deconstruct it and try and find meaning to it. As I say, that it's just so technically highly produced. You know what I mean? It's it's not a film I don't think you would forget.
Have you seen any films that you think this has had an influence upon?
Well, I definitely like there's parts of Melancholy imagery wise. I thought it looked like. Put me on the spot now. I'm trying to think. Obviously, The Shining. As well. I
was trying to think of films that did this kind of time structure of breaking up time. The one I could think of before would be Kubrick's The Killing.
Okay.
Which told the same story again from a number of different perspectives. The same way like Reservoir Dogs kind of copied that idea. That's the only one I could think of before this. And then the obvious guy who plays with time these days is Christopher Nolan.
I was going to say the following. It definitely has a kind of. There's definitely threads there. Like in following, there was numerous times when you didn't know whether it was still in the current or the before.
I remember on the Criterion cast they were talking about Nolan and how someone had asked him about that after Inception had come out, and he was saying he hadn't seen the film.
Right.
So it's not a direct influence anyway on his style, but
again, I mean, that's not to say that he's not seen something that was influenced by that. If you know what I mean. So that is weird though. I would have presumed he would have seen it, especially as looking like something like Fallen. But any of his films, they all seem to play with time, don't they?
Yeah. Memento.
And Batman Begins to a certain extent plays with time. I don't know. Insomnia, I've not seen that.
Yeah, that's kind of the same because the cop tends to black out.
Right. Oh, okay. Dark Knight doesn't really play about with time. That was kind of one of his maybe kind of Prestige does,
Aye.
definitely. Maybe he was saving up all his claim of time for Inception. With
Right.
Dark Knight, you know, he's like, I've got it coming next time.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that's not one of Nolan's films, is it?
No.
You're just thinking in general. I get you, Gary. I get you.
I also see an influence in David Lynch's films, the
Ah,
mystery element of it. What's illusion, what's reality. I mean,
Yep.
there's a scene where and there's the band playing, then they
Exactly.
stop,
Uh-huh.
and then there's that scene in Mulholland Drive where when they go to the theatre.
Yep.
It's all about no I banda. There is no band. You get the singer and then she collapses and
Sure.
the music's gone. So
I was actually thinking like the kind of, I'm trying to remember one of his films. Is there not one of his films where they have the kind of the party get up? They're all kind of
Lost Highway.
maybe that.
There's a
aye.
scene that's got the character of the mystery man.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to
Yeah.
X.
So I mean, it's obviously like a massively influential film. I mean, it's whether directly or indirectly. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Okay, so my final thoughts on the film. I would say masterpiece. That's maybe use that term too often, but definitely
Have you used that for?
maybe not in the podcast, but in
Right.
general,
Okay.
I'm prone to hyperbole
I'm
sometimes.
sure. Okay. That fucking
Pushing-
sandwich was a masterpiece.
The boundaries of what cinema is, rejecting all the rules, smashing them up, and I feel like a film that will challenge you to figure out what's going on and just plain make you scratch your head and say, what the fuck? It's a film for you.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Aye.
Just make sure if you're going in to watch it, make sure you're switched on. That's what I would say. All of the imagery was just like amazing, and the editing style and stuff like that. It was so against, as you say, everything that quotation marks should be in film. But it just was like a roller coaster ride. It just kept going.
Aye.
It's definitely one I'm going to give another try to.
Right. Definitely rewards repeat viewing,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Definitely one that I'm unresolved on
Right.
first watching, but
Mhm.
I will definitely give it another try. So is that us on Marienbad then?
That's us, yep.
No props. We're going to something else now,
We're
Gary.
all to-
Let's move on.
Mhm.
Yep. So welcome to Random Shit, our section where we talk about news and pickups and other stuff.
Yes.
Gary, do you have any news this lovely day?
The David Lynch box set,
Oh, right, okay.
it came out.
Saw that it was out.
Aye. But have you been following any of the furore
No?
surrounding the release?
Nope.
Basically, it seems Universal have just completely fucked it up.
Oh, really?
In a big way.
I saw that the release of the Blue Velvet one didn't have all the special features
Well,
from the
aye,
States and
yeah.
stuff on it, but
Well, first of all, the kind of extras weren't that great overall. We kind of knew that before.
right.
It was just stuff that had already been released. There was no new content. But it turns out Lost Highway and Firewalk with Me both turned out to be 1080i versions.
What the hell?
Yeah. It seems pretty inexplicable as to why.
Are they 1080p in the States or are they out in the States?
They had 1080p. They haven't had any US releases, but they have had 1080p in other European
Right.
countries. So
So
interlaced
Uh-huh.
and missing the previous 5.1 audio mixes
Fuck's
that had
sake.
been released in DVD, but to just standard stereo.
Jesus.
And supposedly, as well as that, Lost Highway has some skips, faulty discs,
For Christ's
and
sake.
some audio glitches apparently occur on Firewalk with Me. And also, Wild at Heart didn't have the 5.1 track either.
It's pretty poor.
I think the other discs are meant to be
Yeah.
okay, but
As I say, like the Blue Velvet didn't have some of the special
aye.
features, but I let it down for
I
I know
know.
there's a lot of people really excited about that
Yeah.
box set.
it was a good opportunity.
Mm.
So I'm not going to get the box set
Yeah.
unless it comes down to really cheap, because I might pick
They'll
up some
probably
of the,
release it in the States with everything fixed, all the special features and stuff.
Aye.
It's a waste.
I might pick up some of them individually.
Mhm. It was announced since last show that a company called Shout Factory. You ever heard of them?
Aye.
Yeah. They're releasing. They've kind of started this kind of like a sub company, not company, but sub genre set sub
Division.
Subdivision. Called Scream Factory, which they're going to be doing like kind of like horror films,
Right,
cult classics, things like that. And I mentioned it because I'd mentioned you before about watching Halloween 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of out of the continuity of the rest of the films. Well, they're releasing collector's editions of Halloween 2 and 3 on Blu-ray,
Right.
as well as I believe Phantasm 2 and Funhouse as well.
Oh, aye.
So I'm quite excited about this because these are films that I've wanted to have in Blu-ray for a while. Halloween 2 is actually released already by Universal,
Okay.
but they kind of, there was a bit of a, when they originally released it, they kind of fucked it up a wee bit. The initial title card of all the Halloween films had always said up to when he died, basically, Mustafa Akkad presents.
Right. Oh, aye.
Because he was the kind of owner of the series, and they basically took out his credit and put on Universal presents,
Right.
and everyone went raging about it. And like the petition, I mean, I signed the petition because it was kind of the guy get killed in a bombing, his like daughter's wedding or something like that, and him and his daughter both died. So it's kind of a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to a guy who basically, love it or hate it, kept the Halloween series alive. So they re-released it with the Mustafa Akkad presents. But so I don't know how the Shout Factory have got the rights to do like a collector's edition. Because it's going to have like 2 commentaries on it.
Okay.
And a couple of making of features. It's going to be like a proper, decent release. I believe the special editions in the other one had like a Terror in the Aisles, which was an 80s like documentary on like slasher films and stuff like that.
Alright.
Featuring Donald Pleasance and like Tom Savini and things like that. So I don't really know how that's come about. But they're releasing that, and they're releasing Halloween 3, and it's going to be a collector's edition as well with some commentaries and stuff like that on it as well. So I'm quite excited with them. I think they're in September.
Right.
So I've pre-ordered both of them. I don't know if they're region locked now
Right.
or not because it doesn't say, but
Okay.
hopefully then I'll have a multi-region player. But
What's Shout Factory's quality like?
as far as I know, all right. They've
decent,
done they've put out quite a lot of like kind of like TV shows mostly, things like that. But they've put out like a few films and kind of like documentaries and things like that. On the whole, I think it's a high enough quality, and they're putting the effort. For me, it's like they're putting the effort in for the collector's editions. You know what I mean? They're actually doing something kind of cool.
Aye.
I don't know where they've got the features from, but the Halloween 3 commentaries, isn't it? The commentaries on the DVD have always been like Kim Newman and things like that. Just talk, like kind of horror experts. So they've actually got the director. You know, and I think it's Tom Atkins that's in the third one. So that's kind of, for me, that's enough.
Aye.
Whether the prints are pristine or not, I'm sure they'll be alright, you know.
Aye.
As I say, apparently the Halloween 2 one for the Universal release was good, so even if they've got that print, I would be pretty happy. So to me, it's just a kind of wee bit of extra effort to get these films out and get them, because I don't think Universal, I don't know who would own the rights to Halloween 3, but I don't think anyone would put that out really in Blu-ray. So it's quite nice to see it coming anyway.
Yeah, good stuff there.
Yep.
It came out this week. The Twilight Times future release slate will include the Night of the Living Dead remake.
Yep.
It's 1990.
Yep, 1990. Directed by Tom Savini.
Aye. I thought that was an interesting title for them. It wasn't one I thought.
When I first saw the announcement, I thought it was the original that was coming.
Oh, aye.
To be honest, I really thought, because everybody and their fucking mothers put that film out in Blu-ray so far, but I actually thought that's what it was. But I was kind of like refreshingly pleased, because I don't know if this film would ever have seen the light of day on Blu-ray for a while. You know, whereas the original, you could see someone doing that and doing a really good version of it, whereas with Twilight Time probably won't get really much in the way of special features. So if they put it out, it would have been just kind of tossed on the pile of kind of alright releases, with the rest of them.
Yeah.
But I really liked the remake. I let you see it before, didn't I?
I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, it was kind of. I like the kind of whole ethos behind it. Like, most of the original people worked on it because they didn't get any money for the original, because of the copyright issues. So, yeah, I'm quite psyched about this coming out. That's probably one I'll definitely get for them. Yeah,
definitely seems a bit of a coup for Twilight Time again.
Yeah,
because I thought that would be one that would sell pretty well, just because the sort of franchise and Romero fans would they would definitely want to get.
Definitely.
So,
I mean, there was a making of on the DVD that I gave you. So it'd be nice to even see that potted over. But I don't, and commentary as well. But I don't know whether they'll license any of that stuff. But I'm not too bothered. I've got the DVD. You know what I mean? So, but it'll be nice to see this in high def. Warner Brothers has announced that it's going to start reproducing official merchandise for the Adam West Batman series.
Okay.
Because apparently the rights have been locked for many years now.
Right, yeah, I heard that.
So this has opened up everyone to thinking we're finally going to get it on DVD. You know, the TV show, because it's never been able to be released, even though it's like there's reruns on every channel. You know what I mean? It's always rerun. But I found this quite interesting because it's definitely something I think I'd pick up.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether even what they would be looking at then a Blu-ray release or not.
TV. Well, older TV seems to just get DVD releases, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, they did the original Star Trek. They brought that Star Trek the original series brought that out in Blu-ray.
Okay.
I mean, it looked really good. So to be fair, so I don't know. It'd be nice to see us getting like a nice proper release.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the film, the Batman movie, has been out for ages on DVD and Blu-ray. So it'd be kind of nice to see it. You know, those primary colours kind of brought to life on the Blu-ray. But I thought that was quite an interesting piece of news, as I said, even just if they're just starting to do more merchandise on the series and things.
Yeah, good stuff.
But it'd be good to see it on DVD or Blu-ray.
Aye, because I know Twin Peaks had they get released again. That had high def transfers, but only get a DVD release.
Right. What was that? The gold box set?
Yeah, the gold box set. So I don't know if that means they're just holding out to do it, release it again, or just
so was the transfers on that different from the season releases? The original season?
Yeah, they were new ones.
Right. I didn't realise that.
I think season 2 had never been released in the UK.
You get anything else?
So, Alan Jones, was it on Twitter?
I believe it was on Twitter.
Aye.
I looked answer for that fucking tweet machine.
What was it he said? He had been recording a commentary for Lucio Fulci's Zombie Flesh Eaters. Who is it with?
Released by Arrow? Is it what did you say?
Yeah, who is it with? Like,
he did, I don't know if he said who with.
Alright, just
I just think, I don't know if he specifically mentioned by name.
Right.
Maybe just said a colleague or something, I don't know. I maybe did say someone, I don't know, I can't remember the tweet. But
so, that's quite exciting.
It was, it's a big announcement. But the backlash was a bit epic, wasn't it? Did you read some of the stuff?
People weren't happy with him.
And I can totally understand where people are coming from.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm just excited that it's coming.
Aye.
It's a really good release, especially with the kind of the last kind of batch of announcements wasn't the kind of most interesting to me. There's a couple of titles I want to pick up, but this is definitely kind of bringing them kind of back a wee bit.
Yeah, this is always one since I've been foot on the Arrow video. I was like, I hope they release that.
Yeah. I think that's maybe why they were kind of pissed off with him leaking it, because it was a bit of a kind of they wanted to do a big announcement about it and roll it out properly, but hey ho.
So hopefully I'll get all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
From a limited edition.
I heard that the Blue Underground, the American release was a bit DNR'd, but
right, okay.
So I think people are hoping that we'll get a bit more of a faithful release this time.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so in relation to that, loosely, another British horror critic leaking release news. Kim Newman on his Facebook announced that he was just finished writing an essay for the Criterion booklet of The Blob for a Blu-ray release.
Right. Did you know that was coming before, or no? So that was just
I think nobody knew that yet.
Nobody knew, right?
Just thought it was funny.
Yeah,
coincidentally.
Especially people were kind of saying, don't let Alan Jones do the commentaries and get Kim Newman to do it instead. He will no leak stuff like that. Yeah. That was basically what they were saying. So that's pretty funny. Oh no, that's good. That'd be a good one to see coming through in the Criterion.
It should be. It should look pretty good.
Was he getting a bit of a backlash, or was he?
I never saw any response to that. Really, he was alright. He got let off.
I mean, what's your opinion on like stuff like that being leaked? I mean, to me, and like being a consumer, being like kind of like totally detached from the business. To me, it's like, well, it can only be good that people know about it and give people time to like A, save up for it, and B, like, you know, they know it's coming, so they get excited about it.
Yeah.
So I know it kind of really hurt the fact that it's coming out. I wouldn't have thought it would impact sales of it, but surely that's the kind of. What do you think? I don't necessarily agree with it. If he's been asked, if they've been told or asked not to say it, then that's fair, you know.
Yeah.
But as a consumer,
as
you yourself wanting the film on Blu-ray,
it depends with if it's a label that I kind of follow, like people obviously like to guess what's coming out.
Sure.
Particularly with Criterion, that's quite a big thing. And sometimes over most of this year, Criterion they always like give you hints as what they're doing, but recently they've been like hinting at every title that they're going to release, which makes it less fun in a way when you know they're going to announce 5-6 films a month, and you know what they all are before they're being announced. So there was kind of people were getting a bit pissed off with that, so they've cut that down to not really announcing anything again. Which I think is better, just to have that surprise. So
I mean, about the Zombie Flesh Eaters one, what do you feel about that? Do you think like?
Well,
I mean, it being a title that you had wanted to see from Arrow for so long, is it not kind of like yes?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
but in the same hand, you get the fact that like maybe for the next round of releases, this was the kind of the crown.
Aye.
You know, and maybe it'll not. The next round of releases won't seem as good without this being the kind of surprise. But
yeah,
I don't know.
It's probably more satisfying when you're kind of leading up to it. You're thinking what's going to come. Oh yes.
It would have been nice to see them be able to tease it a little bit, I guess, and have us guessing at it.
Aye.
But as I say, if it's a purely kind of, I guess the only thing that sucks is that we know that we've got a wee bit to wait, like more than usual, because usually we would have only from when they announce it to when we get it.
Aye.
Whereas just now it's like they weren't planning to announce it for another couple of months at least.
Yeah.
So a bit more of a wait, but I'm glad it's coming, as I say. Shall we move on to
some pickups?
As I mentioned last time that I had get Clerks 2 and I'd ordered Clerks. I eventually didn't get it from eBay eventually. I had to get a refund, but I did get it. So I picked up Clerks in Blu-ray. Remember we were talking about the kind of 16mm print.
Yeah.
It does look pretty good. It's very grainy, but definitely it's an improvement over the DVD. Just a wee bit more. There's more. It feels like there's more space in the picture.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel. There's a lot of compression. I think on the DVD at least. Did you ever see the DVD release?
I think I've only saw this in VHS.
Sure. So would that been? Was it widescreen or was it? Can't remember. You gave me the VHS. That's the first time I seen it. Actually, you gave me the video.
What was it? What ratio is it?
It's a one. I think it's 185.
Is it? Can't even remember. I don't know.
Well, that's fine, Gary. It's pretty good. So it is. It's got the first cut on it as well, which the DVD had on it as well, but it's kind of got a different ending and things.
Right. Okay.
You ever seen that? No. It's quite interesting. I'm going to keep on it. Also got eventually after many delays. I'm sure you got it as well. House by the Cemetery.
Oh, aye.
From Arrow. Completing the Gates of Hell trilogy. I've not actually checked it out yet. Have you watched it yet?
I've watched the special features.
Sure. You'd seen the film before though.
Aye.
Yeah.
I haven't bothered watching the film yet. I'll just leave it to.
Sure.
We're going to cover that soon.
Yeah, we're going to cover that soon. I also grabbed. I had the Return of the Living Dead steelbook, which came a nice booklet and things like that. Some nice special features. I haven't watched it yet, but I had a wee flick through it. Print looks fairly nice, or at least comparable to the States release. I got the film. Remember I was talking about the film Sleeping Beauty with Emily Browning from Sucker Punch. It's an Australian film. It's directed by Julia Lee.
Right.
I think it's her first film, but it's meant to be pretty decent.
Okay.
So maybe something I might suggest to cover at some point in the future. And I also picked up 310 to Yuma.
Okay.
The Christian Bale Russell Crowe film.
Right.
I got it for like £3 off Amazon or Play. But someone had it in DVD for ages and I kept going to watch it.
Right.
And then I was looking up something and it said like it was really stunning on Blu-ray.
Okay.
And I thought, well, if I'm going to check it out,
right,
with £3, not much to experience it and that. So got that. Apparently it's good. Audio is amazing as well.
Okay.
And the film ain't bad.
Right.
Either, apparently.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, there you go. Another one to loan.
Yeah.
That's my pickups
Okay.
for this episode.
Good selection there. Right. I also got House by the Cemetery.
You did so?
I also picked up from Zavi.
Yes.
They're doing 2 for £12 on these like Fox Blu-rays.
Right.
So I got The French Connection.
Right. So I was wondering, so they were fairly reliable that you managed to get them?
Folk were complaining about like them just having stuff there and not actually having it in stock.
Sure.
But these came quite quick. I got Juno as well.
Oh,
and that
awesome.
said like 3 weeks.
How much? Sorry, how much? 2 for what?
2 for 12.
Oh, right. Okay. Aye.
And that came within a few days, even though it said that it might take up to 3 weeks. So
Right. That's really good. Does this have digital copy with it?
don't think so.
No, just on Blu-ray.com. Like, the States one has like a different box
Oh,
cover,
right.
and it says it's got a digital copy with it.
Right.
And I was looking at the specs for the UK one, and it said digital copy as well, but I didn't think so because you check the back and it's thingy. That's cool. That's one I'm definitely trying to
I
pick up.
recently traded in the DVD, so
Yeah.
upgraded.
Nice.
Also got funny you should mention Batman before.
Oh,
Batman the
awesome.
movie.
Right.
Yeah, I've been watching the special features. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Haven't seen the movie yet, but I had that in VHS when I was about 4 or something.
Hey, I've got the special edition DVD they released.
Right, okay.
Probably some special features,
Aye.
but that was the thing they were talking about the original TV series when there's a lot of stuff that would be termed as special features on a DVD or a box set.
Right.
That they've made these documentaries, but they've had to just put them out on DVD themselves.
Okay.
There was one that they did, and it was like a kind of making of documentary of the whole series. Lots of behind the scenes stuff and things, but like so they could put that out, but they couldn't put out the actual TV show. It's kind of weird. That's cool. So was that picked up from Zambi as well?
Aye.
Right.
I got 2 for £12 twice. Another one was The Fountain, which I haven't got. Darren Aronofsky has third movie.
Right.
But he came and had a rip in the artwork. So I sent it back.
Gary, you know what makes me angry? Rips in artwork and tears in boxes and slipcase windows and no posters, Gary. And no books in my cycle, steel book.
The plastic of the case and the paper. Fuck's sake.
100 paper, fuck's sake.
Aye, so I sent it back. It seems to have. I haven't got a new one yet, but I wasn't sure if because I'd peeled the plastic, if that means it was no technically new. If they wouldn't accept
you mean
it.
you took the cellophane off
Aye.
it? No, mate. Fuck them. You're getting a replacement. That's no.
So I told him that.
I take the plastic off everyone, man. And then I check it.
Right.
You can't check nothing when you get the plastic on.
Aye. So hopefully I'll be getting that.
Aye, you better, Gary. I'm going to give them a nut. I'm going to nut them. So is that still on now, just now, 2 for 12?
I don't know.
I'm just checking.
Aye. I mean, these Fox titles, they are normally ones that sit pretty cheap, like £7-8.
Your French connection one?
Aye. I was going to talk about that.
Oh, sorry, right. On you go.
Did you hear anything about this release?
No.
Do you know? Well, it was approved by Friedkin himself.
Right.
But it was a bit notorious because he did a weird thing with the colour timing. He chose not to time it in a standard way as the film kind of looked at the time. But he chose to make it more sort of pastel-y and pale.
Right.
Is a featurette on this about the colour timing.
Right.
He did. I don't really know why he did this, but he was showing you what he chose to do by he stripped the colour completely out of the film, but then he merged the black and white one with a version where he'd completely oversaturated the colour.
Okay.
Merged them two together.
Right.
And put out.
He
was saying how that's what it should have looked like, which is a weird thing to do when the director, if you believe in sort of director's vision, it's kind of a George Lucas thing, isn't it?
Going back and
who is it how it originally looked or how it technically should look according to the director?
Yeah. I mean, there's a school of argument like, listen, it's his movie. He can do what he wants to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's his choice, but it seems a bit odd.
Seemed a bit weird thing to do. It was the same thing.
Like, you can understand. Sorry, you can understand the Lucas thing. You can understand the Lucas thing with the Star Wars. Like, there's stuff that ain't right about that film.
Aye.
As in, like, stuff he couldn't do at the time. You know what I mean? So he CGI stuff in, whatever. So you can kind of understand that revisionist,
Aye.
right? But with that, it's like colour timing. You think, well, you know what I mean? That's seems like a less important, not less important, but less of a reason to change things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know.
Aye. It was the same thing that Scorsese did in Taxi Driver, right, at the time.
Yes.
Make that weird effect of like thing they used to do with 3-strip Technicolor.
Yep.
Where you do some really strange colour effects by merging the different variations of the colour. But it looks decent.
Mm-hmm.
It looks okay. It is rough anyway, I think.
Right.
As 70s films often can be. It's like green heaven. Right, you're green. But I did notice there seemed to be scenes where the colour was bleeding out. But I don't know if that's a reaction to what he did or not.
I just don't. It's kind of weird, the whole black and white merged with the oversaturated. It's like, don't know. It seems a weird way to do it.
Aye. But in America, there's actually a new version that he approved again, which is just a standard colour timed one.
He's like, I got a tenner for approving it. Did get a cut for approve it. Yeah, you sure? That's fine, eh?
Aye. So according to Blu-ray.com, that's better.
Right.
But that doesn't have some of the special features on this. So.
And that wasn't going for 2 for 12.
Aye.
So aye, that's fine. I understand.
Also got Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, I was just looking at that like today. I think even.
Yeah.
Just, I think
it was like £5 or something. It's
really
pretty cheap on Amazon.
Off Amazon. Yeah, actually, where did I see it? I think it was Play. I saw it. It was pretty cheap, maybe like £4, something like that. Cool. That's one that I was going to pick up. But I know there's a box set out just now.
Okay.
But I don't know how good the prints are on the other films. But that one was meant to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's most of the special features photo from the DVD release. But
that's one that I've had on my wish list for a while, and it's always really cheap. Mm-hmm. So thought I'd just pick it up. It's kind of like a good catalogue title, like kind of classic.
Yeah, definitely.
Just up on the shelf. Also got The New World. Terrence Malick. It's about the settling of America.
Okay.
£5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet, so I don't know what it looks like, but probably pretty good. Breaking the Waves. This is a Danish DVD. It's got some other special features I didn't have.
Sure.
So,
is this another Lars von Trier?
Aye, Lars von Trier.
So you're trying to... This is your collection of special features?
Yeah. The only thing I don't have is Melancholia.
Right.
Pretty much got everything.
I've got that, so I have.
And finally...
Did I say Melancholia when I was doing my pickups? I didn't.
No, I didn't.
No. I also picked up Lars von Trier, Melancholia.
Right, aye.
Watched that. That was really good. Make sure we can talk about that at some point.
Right.
Some pretty good special features on that. It's got commentary and things like that that went on the American version.
Right.
I think all the rest of them are the same, the special features, but that's a really, visually stunning film and quite powerful. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, you said it blew your mind.
It definitely did. Like just visually, the whole overture at the beginning, the epicness. It starts off with just sort of strange visions. Before it gets into the story. Yep, and then it kind of goes to this kind of completely just like a drama about characters that's brilliantly played out.
Yeah. Before
switching, and then having this impending doom.
Aye.
But still with these characters, it's and then the ending, the actual ending is just like what. No, I really enjoyed that. That was one that I could definitely recommend. It's the first Von Trier film I've seen, so it did blow my mind. And you warned me of Antichrist destroying it, but we'll see.
And final one, Blue Velvet on Blu-ray, the US version.
US version, good guy. Good.
Yep.
The UK version has a slipcover. Not nice, it's a slipcover. But that's got more special features of commentary and stuff on it.
No commentaries, no.
Okay,
it's got the new lost footage, 50 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, supposedly the original rough cut was 4 hours.
Holy shit, right.
And a lot of that stuff was lost, but turned up. Some of that turned up.
Nice. Where'd you get that from?
Amazon, UK.
Much?
Something like 13.
Sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The only downside, it comes in a slim case which is also an eco case.
Oh right, I was gonna say most of the States ones are the slim cases, but
Aye.
I might be able to help you out with that. Actually, I've
Aye.
got a few slim. I've got a couple of like I got Day of the Dead
Right.
in separate release, but I've merged it with my Arrow one.
Okay.
So I've got the box that you could maybe have.
Aye.
It's not a eco case.
Right.
You can maybe have that.
I was
Gary.
maybe going to switch it to a normal Blu-ray,
All right.
but obviously the
Yeah,
sleeve isn't quite long enough, but
yeah.
looks alright. But we'll see.
Yeah, I've been there, Gary, with a few titles I've wanted to switch out, but yep. And that's you?
That's it. Aye.
Cool. This has been coming for 10 episodes, Gary.
As I.
Yeah, this is the big 10-0.
It's a daddy.
It's a big one, though. What you even say? Episode 10, Gary. Would you want to put the reveal out, or would you like to leak it? Leak it over Twitter. I know you've already put it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's already leaked. So you already leaked it, did you? You big shite.
For those who haven't
Sure.
seen the Facebook page,
We've got up a schedule for the next
we did.
6 films,
Uh-huh.
including Marienbad, wasn't it?
Aye.
Perhaps the most controversial of the video nasties.
Yes.
A film which I've yet to see.
Still not available uncut in the UK
That's right.
to this day.
This was kind of like the film we talked about doing the podcast to start with. This was the kind of one that cemented our idea of, kind of not focusing on, but like basing this around the video nasties and trying to kind of cover like, most of them. Films directed by
Ruggero Deodato,
got you.
and it's called
Try a drum roll. Cannibal Holocaust.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So this is one that's probably been one of our most anticipated films by us and the listening
Mr. Paul Watson.
public.
It's
Mr.
been,
Paul Watson, yep.
Looking forward to this one.
Definitely.
So hopefully we can bring something to the table. I mean, it's a film that's you can get a lot of coverage, reviews and reaction to the film.
Definitely.
But we'll give our thoughts on it.
That do for this episode, Gary?
I think that's it.
Is that about us? All these folk can get home now?
Cancel.
Yep. As always, if you want to contact us, cinema_subculture@hotmail.com. The Facebook is facebook.com/cinema subculture. We may be getting a Twitter on the go soon. Don't know what we'll use it for, Gary, but maybe fun. People can tweet us.
Yeah.
Might even tweet us during our live recording. That would be interesting.
Could do it, yeah.
Yep. Next episode, Cannibal Holocaust. Looking forward to it, Gary.
Yes.
Can't wait.
So join us next time on Cinema Subculture. Thanks for listening and
keep it extreme.
It was a nightmare.